But I'll be honest with you, man, like plastic fenders, I mean, I'm against plastic trucks. You know what I'm saying? We don't want a plastic truck.
Oh my God.
Soundtrack your hot shot.
All right, good morning. It's Monday. Are we dirty? It's Monday. It's been cold and rainy all weekend long. A lot of people are asking me, "Where's the Mac, Robert? Where's the Mac? Where's the Mac?" Last time you guys seen this Mac, we were gone the entire time, so we hadn't been home to see the Mac. So the current state of the Mac is not changed. This is the current state of the Mac. My kids were supposed to be putting this brand new wiring harness in the truck, and here it is. They pulled the old one out, and that's about it. I can't get them to do anything. They will not. They don't want to earn any money. So it looks like I'm gonna be doing it myself. So you guys know on the way home, we stopped by Rainey's, not a sponsor, just the closest truck stop. And honestly, when I was looking for these were the cheapest I could find. It's these half fenders. I just have it laying on here for now. But with the fenders and the mounting kit was like $500 something. So it's like, man, I can't beat that. So I just kind of laid them on here the other day, yesterday. It's been raining all weekend long, but I went ahead, figured I was gonna get wet anyways when I pressure wash and wash this thing. So I came out here yesterday and I got the truck all washed up. Got the motor washed down from when the oil filter came loose. Got that all cleaned up. Oh, I can't lift that with that up there. So today, I'm gonna be attempting to put these fenders on. So let me get everything together. I watched a couple of videos on this. Not an expert. I wouldn't watch this video to learn how to do it, but I don't know. Let's knock this thing out. I like that. I think I'm gonna be able to keep this flow below on here. I think I'm gonna be able to keep all this on here. I'm gonna move this forward. I don't know. We'll figure it out together. Let's do this. All right. So I think the first thing what we want to do is dump the air out of these bags. Is that not dumping? Did I hit the wrong switch? Does it take air in the bags to dump the bags? Or air in the tanks to dump the bags? All right. Well, the truck airs up because the bags aren't dumping. I'm thinking maybe it's because, I don't know, it takes air in the system to dump the bags. I don't know why they're not dumping. I got the switch flipped. Hopefully that switch isn't bad. Or whatever, because I pressure washed all this. Oh, see, there it goes. It takes having air in your system to dump the bags. Who would have known? So you want to dump your bags all the way so you know the highest point these tires are going to be on your frame. Speaking of frame, while I'm home, hopefully I have enough time. I can go around and hit all this stuff with a good wire brush and paint it. Paint it before it gets too bad. All right, so these bags are almost empty. Maybe we'll jump up and down on this thing. I don't think my 180 pounds is gonna do anything. All right, so they're completely dumped. So we can shut this truck off now, and then we'll get to the next step. I don't have a camera woman or man with me here, so we're gonna have to improvise and stick you guys with the big techs. All right, completely dumped out. Now I think what we want to do is put a small board on top of the tires. Because you still need a little bit of a gap. So we're gonna stick, I got some small little 1x here. All right, so we got our boards under here. Now normally what else you would do is you would gap the front out to look how you want it to look. But we're limited to this, and so we want to keep this. We'll be able to gap the front out. We won't be able to gap this one out. So now what I need to do is make sure this is in and straight enough. So there's two different kits that came with that you can get with this. I bought the cheaper of the two. I think the other one had like chrome. So there's going to be brackets for the front and for the back. And there's two different bracket types. Let me grab a pocket knife. We'll break into this thing here. Also, I showed you guys that little leaf blower we bought. We haven't taken it back yet, but we're going to take it back. So we were in Walmart. Can't remember where we were. And we always look at the clearance section. We always like to look at, see what kind of deals they had. And they had this Hart leaf blower that came with this, the battery and the battery charger. This is a 40 volt, but I haven't even tried it yet. But they had this, the battery and the battery charger for $56. So we need to try that thing out too. Yeah, I haven't even tried this thing yet. We charged it, stuck in the truck. We charged it. I like that handle can move in and out. Still don't know if this is gonna be the way to go, honestly. But I figured, I've got one of those Harbor Freight plug-in. What's going on, guy? I've got a Harbor Freight plug-in leaf blower that works. It's pretty amazing, honestly. I know a lot of people knock on Harbor Freight, but I've had their leaf blower for, gosh, probably 5 or 6 years now, and it has been flawless. I have their electric chainsaw. You guys have seen it if you followed our other channel, which I don't know what's going to happen with that channel. The Hillside Homestead. We have another channel, if you guys didn't know, because we bought 11 acres out in Utah. And I was going to show you guys us building our house and everything. And shortly after buying that, man, the economy, well, a certain president got in. And everything went crazy. Definitely better than the Cobalt one that we bought. Oh, there's a turbocharge button here too. A power boost. Ah, that's cool. Figured I'd try it out. All right, let's get back to work. Golly, you have ADD or ADHD or whatever that is? Probably. So these are, the fenders are 304 stainless or 403. I can't remember. The more expensive one by like Hodgebuilt or something like that is the opposite of these. And from Google, the only thing I could tell from the difference is like the amount of heat that it can handle. I'm sure the Hodge built ones are the better of the stainless. These are just the Rainy brand. You know what? It's a work truck. I don't need like super fancy stuff. I thought about getting some plastic ones, but I'll be honest with you, man. Like plastic fenders, I mean, I'm against plastic trucks. You know what I'm saying? We don't want a plastic truck. We want a nice metal one. You know, get what I'm getting at? No, honestly, I wanted the metal ones because we walk from our catwalk usually on our tires to get on top of our step deck when we're carrying chains and stuff back and forth. So these are the front ones. These will go up here somewhere to hold the front. And then there's back ones as well, which are these right here, which you'll put back here to hold the back of this fender. I'm thinking these are to gap the fender. That's let's use those because they wrap around the tire really good. Also, I noticed, and I know I said this is just a work truck, but there's like a line where they put a couple of pieces together here. And I noticed because I had these sitting on the trailer, there was like a rust line. I didn't think stainless steel was supposed to rust, but evidently where they put the two pieces together, it was rusting. So I'm thinking this is what this is for, guys. These little rubber things, you dump the air out all the way, then you take this, set this on top of your tires. Like that. The only thing I don't like about that is now it doesn't hold that straight. Maybe we can put something back here to counterweight that. Does that look right? Maybe we'll still use one of these boards because that doesn't look straight. So now, if I go like this, and go from one tire to the other, that's on top of that rubber. I don't want that. That should hold that thing straight. And I'm thinking we just bring this forward all the way up here. Now we just need to figure out where we can put this this mount. So you got these things that look like a bicycle peg, and then this will bolt to the frame, and then these pieces slide on top of that piece. What you doing, woman?
Laundry.
All right, I think what I'm gonna do is it's got these bolt rivets here. I'm thinking I'm gonna cut this this bolt rivet off here and then bolt everything through the frame. I think that's what I have to do, honestly, to get that thing there. I know a lot of people just torch those things off. I don't have a torch. So I'm probably gonna go grab my grinder with a cutting wheel. And we're probably just gonna cut that thing off. And then we'll just run our bolt, and our bolt for this will replace that there. That was a lot easier than I thought it would be. Of course, we're not done yet. We're not done yet. Settle down. It's not over with yet. All right. It didn't come with the bolts, but this flow below kit came with some bolts that I didn't end up using for some reason. Thank you, Bess, for more coffee. Yeah. So, look at there. I found a longer bolt. Oh, look at that. That's so much better. All right, got that bolted on. Nice and solid. I feel good about that. Now, we have to slide one of these things on there, and then we can butt the fender up to it. Twist this as need be, depending on how the fender is hitting on it. I don't know the best time to pull this stuff off. Something tells me that's not going to be easy to pull off. Oh, that's not too bad. All right, maybe that won't be too bad. So we've got this front mounting point. Now we need to come up with a back mounting point. Let's see. All right. See where this needs to go. That needs to go in a lot more. So it looks like it kind of takes all the guesswork out of it. If you shove this all the way into your frame, then this curve of this fender should fit into there nicely, I think. Don't quote me on that. So now this has to get twisted around to meet the fender. All right, check it out. So with this thing twisted around properly, it's gonna fit on there almost perfect. Yeah. And then when we go to do this back bracket, looks like the back of this needs to drop down some too. This wood might be holding it off. Because you can see it's kind of running up at an angle, I think. You just have to watch it because you're fifth wheel and all. Obviously, you're not going to be driving with your suspension down. Well, this is going to be locked to the frame. So wherever this sits in relation to the fifth wheel is always going to be that way. So one of the big concerns that I have is my sliding ratchet system underneath the front of my step deck. So we've got that figured out now. Now we need to figure the back out. Now the back brackets look something like that. So they already have the bolts in this, and evidently we got to bolt that black piece to the frame, and then you run these like this through another bracket it comes with, or that goes on top of the fender, and the fender sits on that. This part might take some figuring. It looks like there's another one of those nut rivets that we can replace. That one right there. If I cut that one off, then I can bolt that back brace back here. Or should we step it back here some? Oh, I don't want to have to drill a hole. But I think what I'm going to have to do, apart from drilling the frame, is take the grinder to that one there and cut that one out. And if it doesn't work there, I guess I'll have to drill a hole back. Yeah, but look at all this rust. So I need to take a wire brush on my grinder and wire wheel all these rust spots, and then take some Rust-Oleum paint to it before it spreads. I've done it to the Mac a few hundred times, and the stuff that's on the Mac right now is that I don't like it. It's not as good as the Rust-Oleum because you can see it kind of flakes off, but it's super expensive. What's the name of it? I'll have to look back and see. But yeah, like, look at this. Like, I want to put those pieces back on. I still have to figure out what's going on with the air conditioner. So we're going to take off this entire week. And my buddy, the one that owns the masonry business, has to haul some scaffolding. The scaffold, remember the scaffolding that we did and all those boards that me and Lita loaded up? That was so much work. I'm gonna drop my trailer off at his house. He's gonna have his guys load it. And then they're gonna meet us in Alabama. That load goes to Alabama. They're gonna meet us there, and that's where they're gonna unload it. He called and asked me for a price. I'm like, am I loading and unloading? He's like, no, I got guys to do that. I'm like, okay, because that's just too much work. So much work. All right, let me get this thing cut out. You guys stop talking to me. Jeez. Yeah. People always up in their feelings in my videos. Always crying about something. I need a deep socket. Yep, I need a deep socket. This is a 15/16. Go grab a deep socket. You want to hold this for me for a second? Just kind of try to hold this thing up and this part flat. I can't find my 15/16 deep socket. Kind of wild to me, man, that I wouldn't have one of those.
What's this stuff for?
I think they gave me this to hold the fender up off the tires.
Oh. So that goes on the fender all the time?
No, that's just for installation purposes. So you dump all the air out of your truck, And you set these rubber things just to give it a little bit of a gap.
Oh, I see. This is for you, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Pretty straight.
pretty damn straight. All right, so now what I'll do is I'll take, what I do with that magic marker I just had.
Did you set it up over there somewhere?
Right here. So I'll take and mark this like that. No, see? I've marked that. Actually, let me put that back where it was because I'm retarded. And I need to mark the side of where this was. So I know where to stick that rubber. Does that look like it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Now I know where to stick that rubber mat to drill my holes. A little less than 1 3/8. All right. So I'm gonna use these rubber mats to show me where I need to put these holes. I've got everything marked out on this fender, but this is the outside marking of this. And you can see that it steps in some here. So that would be a little less than 1 3/8, I think I said. Yeah, from the outside. Or we could just measure to the rubber, which is 1 inch. So if we come over here, hold this rubber mat on here, and measure over from this line 1 inch, we know exactly where to drill our holes. Drop this down some for the thickness of the marker, and because that edge is taking up some. And then we're going to measure over 1 inch from this. All right, the camera died, but we've got them all marked out. I've test fitted it with the other piece. That's good now. Now I need to figure out where the back holes go, and then we can peel this whole sticker off. Use that to kind of protect it for now. Not that it matters. Like I said, I'm going to be walking on this thing, but maybe, maybe not. So I drilled these things out twice. Drilled them out once to make this like pretty tight, but it didn't give me a lot of working room. So I went back and stepped them up one more, just using a little step bit. That way I have a little bit more adjustability in this fender, so everything isn't exactly perfect. So we'll get this kind of mocked up. I'll stick 1 or 2 bolts in here. We'll have to figure out where these back ones go. Probably stick a marker up through that hole. Mark the bottom of the fender. All right, so I aired the suspension back up so I could get these bolts started on this. And then got a few of the bolts in. Ideally, if this wasn't here, probably just be easier to bolt this to that and then slide this whole piece on as one. But because this is all here, it's kind of hard to get all that on there. Anyway, so I got a couple of bolts started in that. Got my rubber pieces back on my tires, and then I was just able to lose my marker that I was using. Here it is. I was able to just take my marker and come under here and mark the fender from underneath. So now I can take this fender back off again, drill those holes, peel this plastic off, and then install it permanently. All right, okie dokie. This is where we're at. We got it all peeled off. Got this, I don't have this side tightened down, but now we're working on the back here. What do you guys think of that so far? Does that thing look good or what? Man, anything to keep slinging mud all over the back of the truck, right? So it looks like I'm gonna have to cut these bolts down some because these bolts are gonna be too long. I just have to figure out how far or how much I need to cut. I put the air back in the truck again so that I'd have a bigger gap so I can tighten these down. But now I have to figure out, we have to cut these. So I'm gonna have to figure out where this fender needs to be. I need to shove this all the way down. We're gonna mark it, stick a nut on it, cut it, and then when you back the nut off, it'll straighten the threads back out. But it's kind of crazy how they have this set up. So basically what you do is you run the bolt down through the fender. There's this piece here that's underneath. And then you stick a, looks like a washer, a lock washer, and then a nut. And then the plastic tube, and then you do another nut, and then another lock washer. And then you stick it down through here with another lock washer, and then another nut. Only thing I don't understand is it came with these too, this set of hardware. And it doesn't mention this hardware anywhere. K91022B. That's not on any of these parts lists. It's not on any of these parts lists. All right, so after installing, it's not completely installed yet. After installing that and then looking at this, these plastic tubes don't really do anything. Even though they show reinstalling them, basically what's happening, I think they stuck it on to protect the threads, but it shows reinstalling them again. But basically, it's not going to rest on this plastic tube. You have this, and then you have a nut under here, and then you have another nut that comes on here. So it's never really resting on that plastic piece. It's resting on this second nut here. So it's kind of a pain in the butt to get all these bolts in here like this, but I'm glad I don't have to go get a aluminum tube or a steel tube to put in there. What's nice about this too is it makes it to where you can adjust it too. This side's almost done though. We're almost done here. Let's I gotta figure out where this has to be. One of the ends of this, I think it was that one. They didn't quite weld it on straight. Yeah, it was definitely that one. It was a little oblong, or it was a little not flat. All right, that's one side completely done. May have to adjust this up or down a little bit, but that's pretty much it. We just gotta do the same thing on the other side. Nice. No more slinging mud everywhere. All right. Now on this side, we already had this fender here. When they attached this fender, they went into the suspension. I'm not crazy about that. Maybe it came factory like that. But I think what we're going to do to make them both match is we're going to go ahead and take this off. And we're going to cut the same exact bolts that we did on that side to make them. At first I was like, oh, I'll just reuse this post to make it a little bit easier. But we're just going to match them. It won't be no big deal. I'll take this off. Probably just leave this on and put the new one up here. Well, there it is. We now have half fenders on our truck. Not too bad. Not too bad. We'll have to see how they hold up. I mean, they're pretty thick. Oh, I think it's because there's no bolt. I mean, there's nothing. That bracket goes all the way down there, so that it's rattling against that piece down there. All right, I got a mess to clean up. Anyways, if you've never heard me say it before, thanks for watching.
Bye.